Hey there, Ridgely here with Jay Bennett, the Blue Collar Networker, and today we're going to talk about a unique concept and premise. And I know in speaking to you before we start shooting this video, you said, well, I'm not really sure how we talk about this, but you were willing to go there. And that is the concept of kindness, gentility, and appreciation in life and also in our business. I noticed that, for instance, you always, even if it's a text message, you always include the person's name and you always say thank you at the end. That's not usual. Most people don't do that. Where does that come from?
Well, I'm gonna have to give my dad credit. I grew up with a dad that was a very polite person, and he opened up the doors for people when he was walking into a store or a supermarket or whatever. He'd open up the door and allow someone to go in first. Especially if it was a woman, they would go in first. Mm-hmm. My mom, if I was at a function and I was sitting down and a woman came to the table, she said, "Stand up. There's a woman coming to the table, you stand up." And I was just programmed, that way. I remember going to restaurants and my dad making the waiter or the waitress comfortable by engaging them and making them feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. Not reverse. He would make them feel comfortable. So I think I got that kind of upbringing from my parents.
And how do you feel like it impacts the way you communicate with others, the way you touch others? I mean, I'm sure you see the difference all the time. So what kind of an impact do you think that has?
Well, I know that one of the most important things for people is their own personal name. So when you talk about, emailing or texting, it's amazing. I always put the person's name. I just don't respond back. I put their name. Mm-hmm. And then I put thank you at the end of everything. And I didn't, until we talked about this, I didn't even realize that I was doing this. It's just, I know that someone's name is important, and I know that a thank you is important.
Isn't it kind of like you're acknowledging them by putting their name there?
Yeah. And I know that their name is important to them. And like my name is important to me. Mm-hmm. And I know that I like a thank you, and it's that kind of thing.
Well, and the kindness piece, there are many people like yourself who are charismatic, and yet they don't have the same kind of gentility and kindness, that stopping for a moment to really talk to someone, that spending that extra time with them. Tell me a little bit about, maybe if you can think of where it comes from, but also why you think that's important, because you do it basically every day of your life.
Well, we're in the people business. When we look at what we do, we're in the people business. So you want to develop people skills. I do think one of the best books that's out there for our profession is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Right.
I think really that should be one of the books that every networker reads, because there's certain things that you can do that sometimes go against our human nature. Mm-hmm. That you can do, though, to engage people and to get them on your side where it's an agreeable experience. Mm-hmm. Many times we lock horns with people, and it doesn't have to be that way. We have to learn the art of working with people and engaging people in a way that they receive it. And so I just would say that that's something that I continue to work on. It's not something I've mastered. Mm-hmm. Believe me, I'm not mastered this, but I'm moving towards that direction.
Well, maybe not mastered it to the nth degree. However, what you do is live it on a continuous basis. And how does that benefit your organization? How does that help your organization to grow, to know that you're going to spend the time with them, you're going to smile with them, you're going to cry with them if need be, you're going to be there for them? What does that mean to them?
Yeah, that's a good point. This is what, they call me the blue collar networker. That's because I'm in the trenches. And, I'll see, we do have an app where we see when people have hit a next level within the organization. And every night, not every night, but more often than not, I'm looking through that app, seeing who's been ranked advanced, and go, "Hi Mary, congratulations that you hit manager position, way to go, keep up the good work, stick to the basics, high five," and then boom. And I'll just send those up that evening, and the next morning, thank you. I put my name there because a lot of times they don't know who this is coming from, okay? So I put my name there so they at least know that, this is the upline saying hi, congratulations. randomly make phone calls to people. When I have off time and I don't know what to do and I'm twiddling my thumbs, I'll go through the organization and I'll just make random phone calls and just go hi. And if it's a voicemail, hey, I can leave a voicemail message and they'll get that, and they may never get back to me, but they got a positive call. If I connect with them, hey, we'll find out what the next step is for them. And 100% of the time, people are thankful. 100% of the time, they're thankful that you reached out to them. So those are some things that I've learned that are just, think about it from other people's point of view. Doesn't everybody want a phone call saying congratulations, good job, keep going, move forward?
Well, let's talk about that thank you, that appreciation thing, because it's almost like it's an art in and of itself to acknowledge and appreciate others, to help them feel good, to take time from your busy day to give them a little bit of love. It seems like that is an underappreciated people skill.
Well, it might, yeah, but it has to be used. And again, especially within our industry. I mean, maybe other industries it's not as important, okay? I mean, toll booth operator, right? That you may not need those skills, but in the network marketing arena, it's a people business. You really have to, develop those skills.
And let's talk about the feeling behind it, though, because I think one of the things that maybe people are resistant to this, if they are resistant to it, it's because they're missing the joy of appreciating people. When you appreciate people, you say, thank you very much. Generally, you're not doing it with a big old scowl on your face. Thank you very much. I mean, it just, there's a natural positivism that comes out of our lives when we genuinely appreciate others.
And that is such a huge thing, and you kind of reminded me now what I wanted to share. The recognition factor in the network marketing model is huge. It's huge. People will do things more for recognition than for the money. We don't always have to have the money carrot going, everybody. We need the recognition thing going. And yes, you can weave both of them together. That's a beautiful thing. But recognition, look at Mary Kay. Mary Kay, I mean, she recognized people and she built up women and she made them be queens and princesses within their company, and they were like recognized, and they were promoted in front of an audience of people, and they were treated like movie stars. And that's what a good network marketing company should be doing. I know our company does an incredibly great job of recognition. Kathy Coover, one of the top corporate people in the industry, she's so good at recognizing people and raising them up. And so we have to do that. That's our job within our organizations, is to do the same thing. I just did a thing where I had a promotion to Maui. And not only did they get to Maui, but we recognized them on phone calls. When I'm there with them, I have the owners of the company. They're going to sit down to dinner and recognize them, this small group of 7 couples, and they'll have the owners with them for dinner. I mean, how special is that? And then they get recognized for what they did. So it's powerful.
And in that recognition, the biggest words are thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, pat on the back, you're special. And they are. I mean, this is genuine, real stuff. And we're identifying people that have stepped away from the crowd, and we're patting them on the back saying, keep going. And we reward people for the positive things that they're doing.
And how important is it for the new person that's getting started, to be recognized for even taking that bold step of, hey, starting my own business, taking a leap of faith, etc., and for them to understand that every little step made by someone in their organization is worthy of a recognition, a thank you, an attaboy.
I think that's true. You want to get it on the bottom tier, and you want to start right there, whatever that first step is. I mean, on Facebook, we recognize people that just ordered the product. Right. Just ordered the product, and we make a big deal. High five, good job. Mary's going to get on the products. Go girl, go. We do it even on a customer level, and then on the business level, when they start moving in terms of recruiting and building their organization, every little step should be rewarded and be recognized.
What would you say, final words about humility? I mean, how important is it, despite in your position especially, being very, very successful in this, to still stay humble when you're meeting someone, they don't really know who you are, so that you can build that connection rather than build a separation.
Yeah, that's huge. I think that humility is something that absolutely can be learned, and sometimes it's forced. but humility is just I heard something once that really hit me, and that was this: you can learn something from everyone. Everyone can teach you something. And so when you meet people and you're willing to be open to learn from them, that's where you can trigger that humility, that you're always able and open to learn from the other individual. That will help you to stay humble. When you think you know it all and you come into the room going, I got this all figured out, and you don't think this person has anything to offer, I think that's where you lose that humility.
So I guess we would end by saying thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us for these moments. We really appreciate you. Look forward to continuing the journey together. Any
Absolutely.
words?
No, beautiful. I'm very thankful just to be in this place and being able to share with everybody here that's taking a look. And thank you, Ridgely.
Thanks a lot.